All right, welcome to part 2. This is the second half of my appointment confirmation reminder sequence. Now, if you haven't watched part 1, you need to go watch that one first. I'll have a link that will pop up right here because that one is the initial setup of the appointment confirmation reminder sequence. It's a basic workflow. This one is actually going to add on to that one, so this is going to add a bunch of extra features and a bunch of extra flair to it. So make sure you go watch that one. And now that you've watched that, let's get into this one. All right, so now one of the first things I want to add in here, could be anywhere in here, just one of the first steps is I want to send the information back to Facebook so that my Facebook ads data has the data of there's been a scheduled call. So I'm going to click the plus and we're going to go down to Facebook Conversion API. So from here, we need to add in the access token. This will be in a separate video on how to get your access token. You'll add in your Facebook pixel ID here. You'll set your Facebook event name. So what's the event name going to be? What information I want to send back to Facebook. In this case, it's going to be scheduled because they just scheduled an appointment. You can add a value in. Most likely you're not going to add a value for an appointment booked. This is mainly going to be if you're selling a product and this is when they make a purchase. But for the Facebook access token, what we're going to add in, again, I always like to use my custom values. Custom values, when you use them properly, it really streamlines your setup for your client accounts, editing any details in your accounts. So in this case, custom value that I've created would be, it's a custom value called Facebook Access Token. This will be on the custom value section of your HighLevel account. Same thing with the Pixel ID. Since the Pixel ID is going to be used in several locations of your sub account, enter a 1 in a custom value, and it'll be here every time. All right, so let's save action. Now we got the Facebook Conversion API. Next thing I want to add in, we're going to come down to the 24 hours before. Now, what I also like to add in is not just telling them that their appointment is coming up in 24 hours, but what I like to add in is a question, basically having them confirm their call the next day. Because the way we're going to do that, I'm actually just going to take this text that we already have. I'm going to come in here, but instead of SMS 24 hour before, I'm going to change to SMS 24 hour confirmation. Now in the wording here, I'm going to change it up a little bit. I'm going to copy this over here. I'm going to put this here. What I have here is hi, contact first name. I want to remind you about your appointment coming up tomorrow at, again, start time. I always want to remind them of the time and the date so that they have less chance of missing their appointment. Now this is the important part. Please confirm with a yes or a no if you'll be attending tomorrow so we can best serve you. Now this you can add in if you want. This is, as I said, this part of the video, I'm just adding a bunch of little things in here to really enhance your appointment reminder sequence. But you might not want to add this one. You might have to play around with it a little bit. This is, if we don't hear back from you by the morning, we'll have to cancel your appointment. What I'm going to have set up is an automatic in here to cancel their appointment if they don't reply back. User first name, save action. Now the way this is going to work, I'll explain this on the next workflow we're setting up because the next one is going to be the confirmation reply text. But right before this, what we need to add a contact tag. And this one is going to be add a 24-hour confirmation tag. So I have this tag already created, 24-hour confirmation. And we're going to go back here, we're going to save that. So now they're getting tagged with a 24-hour confirmation. They're getting the text that's having them please confirm yes or no if they'll be attending their appointment. Now we're going to go build the other workflow that's going to respond to them based on how they respond to this confirmation, if they even do. So first, what we're going to do is we're going to save this. Then we're going to go back and we're going to create another workflow. We'll create workflow, start from scratch, create new workflow. This one we're going to call to be replied yes or no to appointment confirmation. All right, so the trigger on this one, instead of being an appointment, what it's going to be is going to run on customer replied. So customer replied, and we're going to add a filter in. This is going to be replied to workflow because they were in a specific workflow, and we don't want that if they replied to that one. We'll select that workflow, which is appointment confirmation reminders booked call. We're going to add a filter in. The other filter we're going to add in the reply channel is only if they replied to an SMS. Now I could add another filter in here, and this could be contains the phrase yes, but I got a couple different actions I want to happen if it's yes, no, or if it's something different. So we're going to leave that out from here. But one other thing we are going to add in, we're going to add a filter, and we're going to has tag. This is that 24-hour confirmation tag that comes in. So they're only going to go through this if they have that tag. And the reason is they might reply back to one of the confirmation or reminder texts. They might reply, great, thanks. And I don't want them to go through this workflow. So it's only once they get within the 24 hours and they reply to that text, they'll have that 24-hour confirmation tag, and then they will actually be able to go through this workflow. So we'll save this. Now the first action we're going to do, here we're going to do an if-else statement. I'm going to name it confirmed appointment, question mark. select, we're going to do contact reply, replied message, operator contains, and this we're going to say yes. Now it doesn't matter, it's not case sensitive, so you can just put in yes, capitals, lowercase, whatever. We're going to add another condition, because same thing, they might reply, yep, they might reply, yeah, I'll be there, but that's still what's called a positive intent. So we're going to do contact reply, we're going to do intent type, and this is going to be is. Now this is pretty cool, this feature is actually built in, it uses Google's Dialogflow, so it's actually Google that looks their AI to see is it a positive intent or is it a negative intent in their message. So it might be yeah, and that's the same thing as a yes, or it might be yep, I'll be there, and so it takes it as a positive intent. So we'll say positive yes. We want to make sure we change this to or, either one, because we don't want it to be yes and positive intent. It needs to be or. So we'll save that. Now we have a confirmed appointment, yes or no. Did they confirm their appointment? Yes. What do we want to send out? First thing I want to do is I want to send my client a notification. So I'm going to send an SMS. SMS. We're going to do SMS notification. And what we're going to select is assigned user, because I don't want everybody on the team getting it, just the user that's assigned to this contact. And the messaging we're going to put in contact name. So Bob Smith confirmed they will be attending their appointment tomorrow. Smiley face. Their reply was, this is pretty cool, you do custom value, message body. So this is based on what they wrote back. Could be an email, could be a text, could be a Facebook message. It'll put their actual message in here. Click save. What I also like to add in is you can just add one of them, you can add all of them, but you can do an email, text, you can even do a HighLevel app notification. I'm just going to copy this, copy action, put it here, and in this one we're going to set it to email. Fortunately, you got to type everything in again, but we're going to set email. Again, we'll leave these blank. User type, we're going to do assigned user. For the subject here, there's tag, clicking tag, contact, full name, and we will say, okay. And then the message, same thing we did before, just very simple. Bob Smith confirmed they'll be attending their appointment tomorrow. Their reply was here. And then again, if you want to add another one in, we can also add in another internal notification, and this time I'll get a push notification. I like to do HighLevel app notification. Title, I do the same as what the email is, contact name, appointment confirmed, and the message body, we're going to put in the same thing. Again, you can word it however you want, but this is just the general messaging. And then next, the redirect page. So this is if they tap on the notification that comes in, where do you want it to redirect them? I probably want it to redirect them to the conversation. If they need to reply back to them, they'll be right there. Which user? In this case, it's going to be the user assigned to the contact. So only they'll get that notification, and we'll click save. There, so now they're getting notified. Next, what I want to do is I want to remove that tag because they've replied. So now I don't want them going through this workflow again and again if they say reply to another text another time. They've already confirmed it, so we want to remove this tag. So I'm going to remove 24-hour confirmation, and I'll put remove 24-hour confirmation tag. Save. Okay. Now the two key components of this advanced confirmation reminder sequence is one, adding and removing the 24-hour confirmation tag. Next is once they confirm their appointment, adding a tag that will send them down the correct path in the original workflow. So what we're going to add here is a tag, and we're going to call it just confirmed. And you'll see how this plays in our other workflow once we get down that path. So I'll just add confirmed, and then we'll add the tag confirmed, and then we'll save action. All right, so next I want to send them a message back saying, thank you for confirming. But I like to add the human element into it. So instead of it just being all robotic message coming back, what I do is I'm going to add a wait step in here. And I'm going to make a wait step of, we'll say 1.5 minutes. So a minute and a half. The reason why I'm going to make it 1.5 minutes is so it's not an immediate text to come back. It's a little bit of a delay, so then it looks like I actually typed it out and sent it to them. The message is just going to be something simple along the lines of, thank you, Bob, just first name, for confirming your appointment. We look forward to meeting you tomorrow. Use your first name. Or I look forward to, or whatever you want to do. But there's just a simple message to send back to them. Okay, next we're going to go down the no path. Did they reply yes? No, they didn't. In this case, they replied no, or they replied something else. So here we're actually going to do another if-then statement. I'm going to put replied no. And we're going to say contact reply, replied message, contains, we'll just say no, and then we're going to save this action. So this is only if they reply back with just the word no, or the message contains the word no. Then what I want to do is I want to, again, send notifications to my client as well. I'm going to select send internal notification. This time I'm just going to do SMS. I'm not going to go through all three of them. You get the picture. You can add in the other ones if you want. We're going to say SMS, and this messaging here that I'm going to say is going to be this. Contact name, Bob Smith said they won't be attending their appointment tomorrow. Sad face. Call them to find out why. And then I'll put the contact's phone number here, so then your client can pick up the phone and actually call them out. Pick up the phone and actually call them, not call them out. Or maybe call them out. But your client will get a text telling them that so-and-so said no to their appointment, but you probably want to have your client call them to find out, why not, and see if they can get them rescheduled. Oh, yeah, we got to select the user type, so assigned user, save action. So it'll send them the notification. Next, what I want to do is to keep all my data and everything clean, I'm actually going to update their appointment status. So we're going to select the status to canceled, because essentially if they reply no, they're canceling their appointment. Update appointment status, cancel. And then after that, I actually want to move them in the pipeline back to the canceled stage. So we're going to create update opportunity, canceled. Select the pipeline, select the stage, they're going to go back to canceled. Now, one thing to note, in this case, because they're going back a stage in the pipeline, you actually have to come down and tick this box on here. Allow opportunity to move to any previous stage in the pipeline. Otherwise, they won't move. So we'll turn that on and we'll click save. The other thing that I'm also going to do is I'm going to remove the confirmation tag. So I'm going to copy this again, copy action, copy here. So again, it's just going to remove that 24-hour confirmation. Don't want them to go through this again. And same thing, I'm going to wait a minute and a half, send them a text. So what I'm going to do here is actually, I'm going to copy all actions from here. So it'll be all the last two. I could have done it up here, but we'll paste it here. So now we have, again, waiting a minute and a half. And in this message, we're going to change the messaging up. We're going to say something simple. Oh no, sorry to hear that. Thanks for the reply, by the way. Can I ask why you won't be attending your appointment? Maybe they'll reply back and you'll get an answer for them. Okay, so save action. Now we have one more branch to fill out. Okay, so customer replied. Did they confirm? Basically, was it a yes? Then it came down here. If the reply was not a yes, then it goes down this branch. Was the reply a no? If it was a no, meaning a yes, confusing, but yes, then it'll come down this branch. If it was anything other than yes or no, we want to have it go down this branch. And in this case, because they might be replying back with a question, they might be replying back with something else that's not a yes or a no. So this is going to be a little bit different. Again, I want to send my client an SMS notification or a notification. So I'm just going to copy this, copy action over, copy here. What we're going to say in this one, we're going to say a little bit different. We're going to say contact name, Bob Smith, reply to their appointment confirmation text with the following message and the message body here, because it might be something different than yes or no. Save action. Again, you can add in email and notification. You can add everything if you want, or just add one of them. And the last thing here, we're going to remove the contact tag. So we'll copy this one, copy action, move it over here. So we're going to remove the tag again after this. Now, I don't have a message going back out to the prospect because we don't know what they said in this message. It could have been a question and we don't want to reply back with a generic response. So a client will get notified and they can come in and they can reply to them appropriately. Again, I don't want to update their appointment status either because they could be asking a question. That is how this replied confirmation is set up. One thing that we do want to set up is go into settings here. And we want to allow multiple because if they book another appointment again in the future, we want them to get this as well. Stop on response, you can turn that on, but it's only one message going out, so it's really not going to matter on this. All right, and that's it. That's all we have to do for this. So we'll go back here and we'll just make sure we turn this on and we will hit save. All right, so we have that workflow built out. Now let's go back. Let's go back into our appointment confirmation reminders, booked calls. So that explains why we add the 24-hour confirmation tag in this step. And they get the confirmation text. Now, here's another thing that we can add in. Instead of just sending them 24 hours before and then sending them an hour before their appointment, say their appointment is 6 in the afternoon. Well, if you message them at, say, 5, that could be late in the day. They could have totally forgot about it. Last message they got was 24 hours before. So let's actually send them a message in the morning at a specific time. The way you do that is after the 24-hour confirmation, we're going to add another wait step in. In this case, we're going to add an advanced window. Now, say I want all my appointments for the day to get an email or a text that morning of at, say, when we open 8 a.m. So what you're going to do is you're going to turn advanced window on. And instead of saying window here, we're going to change this to exact. So what this is going to do, going to wait 0 minutes. So it's 0 minutes after the previous step. And this one is going to hold anything else for the rest of this sequence until it gets to, in this case, we're going to select 8 a.m. So now they'll be waiting here. As soon as 8 a.m. of that day hits, they'll then move on to the next step. So let's add in wait day of 8 a.m. Okay, so now we can add in here another message. So let's send out an email this time. Email day of 8 a.m. We're going to just put an appointment reminder in here, and in the message body here, what we're going to say, in the email we're going to say, hi John, this is just a reminder for your appointment today at, again I want to put the time, we look forward to seeing you, location, everything else the same. But it's just telling them, hey, your appointment is today at this time. Save that. Okay, so now they've gotten the confirmation text 24 hours before asking them yes or no, they're going to be there. Now we're waiting, and then the day of, we're sending them an email reminding them again that their appointment is that day. But remember in the previous text we said if we don't hear back from you in the morning, we'll have to cancel your appointment. Again, you don't do this, but this is just another idea you can play around with. So in this case, we're going to, so 7:30, but maybe I want to give them maybe another 30 minutes after they've gotten the text from last night and they've got an email this morning. So let's wait another 30 minutes. Wait 30 minutes, 30, save. So now this will essentially bring it out to, we'll say, when the business opens at 8 o'clock. And now here, we don't want to just immediately say cancel their appointment, or we don't know if they're going to cancel their appointment or not, or if they responded yes or no from yesterday. So we're going to add in an if else. This one we're going to call confirmed appointment. So we're going to call it confirmed appointment, and then we're going to do contact details, and only if they have that tag that we added earlier of confirmed. So we're going to come down here to tags, includes, and we're going to select the confirmed tag, and then we're going to save that. Now it's going to send the email in the morning, it's going to wait 30 more minutes, and then it's going to check did they confirm their appointment or not. Before we go down this branch, I'm going to go down the no branch. So if they never replied to the text, we're going to go down this branch, and we said in the messaging we're going to cancel your appointment in the morning. Okay, this could be really busy and they don't have time for no-shows. So what we're going to do here is we are going to update the appointment status. Canceled. We're going to change to canceled and save action. Now I also want to update their opportunity. So create update opportunity. Select this pipeline, select the stage of canceled. Allow it to move back to any previous steps and save action. What I also want to add in is another notification to my client. I'm going to send them an email, and we're going to say something simple. John Smith's appointment canceled. And in the message body, again, we'll just say John Smith's appointment has been canceled due to no response confirming their appointment yesterday. And we'll click save. Oh, we need to select a user, assigned user, save. Then next I want to send a message out to the prospect letting them know their appointment's been canceled. So we're going to add in an email. Here are the subjects. I'm just going to say we have canceled your appointment, sad face. Put this in here. Hello, John. Since we did not receive a response from you yesterday confirming your appointment, we regret to inform you that we had to cancel your appointment for today. And you give it a reason. We're very busy. We're backed up with appointments. We don't have time for no-shows, whatever, something like that. You may reschedule here. You always want to give them a reschedule link. So put the booking page link here so they can click on it and book another appointment. And then username, save action. And that goes down the no path if they never confirm their appointment. Now let's go down the yes path. Let's make some other edits here. So one thing that I like to do, instead of just sending an hour before, because that's a typical appointment reminder sequence that people do, I actually like to play around with it and have more of that user feel to it. So I'm going to say, we'll say 46 minutes. If you get an automated message that's right at the top of the hour, okay, you can tell it's an automated message. If it comes in, say, 42 minutes before, then it just feels more like somebody actually typed it out to send out to that person. So I'm going to change it to minutes. I'm going to change it to 46. And then we're going to send out an SMS. This one, we'll change it here to 46 minutes before. Hi, Bob. Just wanted to give you a friendly reminder about a cryotherapy session today in, we'll say in about 45 minutes. And then in parentheses, again, I put the start time, always a good reminder. See you in a few, first name, save. Okay, so that's your main reminders, but now we want to add things in to make it easier for your client to update HighLevel. So this is what we're going to do. We're going to now add in another wait step. We're going to wait for, we'll say, an hour after the appointment. So we're going to wait a time delay. It's going to say 1 hour after appointment. In this case, we want to add in 60 minutes, but you also got to add the 46 minutes. So 46 minutes is before, so 46 plus an hour after. So that will be 106. So that'll be 106 minutes. We'll click save. So now this will be 1 hour after the appointment. And here I want to send my client an email, send internal notification. We'll say email. Selected user type, we're going to do assigned user. Subject, we're going to say, how was Bob Smith's visit today? And the email, I'm going to put something simple, just how did Bob Smith's appointment go today? Please don't forget to update their opportunity card or update their status in HighLevel, or give them some more information on what to do. Just kind of a reminder. Click save, so that sends them an email notification. What you can also add in is there's also tasks in HighLevel, so we can add a task. We'll add a task here, and I'll do something similar. Contact name, post-appointment update is the title of the task. The description is going to say update, contact name, opportunity card, and any necessary notes to their profile. Assigned to, we're going to say contacts assigned user. Due in whenever you want to do, now, maybe within 1 day. Probably now if it's in a post-appointment, but we'll do 1 day. We'll click save action. And let's add in one more thing. We can send the review request. So here we can select either an SMS or email. So in this case, maybe we send an email out, send email review request. So now what this is going to do, once it gets to this step, it's going to send out an email to the prospect asking them for a review of how their visit was. You may not want to add this in here because did they actually show up or not? And do they really want to get that email? They might just be a no-show. So may not want to, but it's just an option you can add in here. Okay, so now that we've built out this workflow, we have one last thing we got to do is update the settings here for this workflow. So we're going to come into settings, and what we want to set is the sender address for the emails. So we want the from name and the from email. So the custom values that we created, we'll go to custom value, and we'll do the from name. And the email, we're going to select from the custom value, the from email. And allow multiple, I always want to turn multiple on because they can book multiple appointments and we want them to always go through this. Stop on response, I do not turn that on for appointment reminders and confirmations because if you send them a message, hey, your appointment's coming up tomorrow, and they reply back, great, thanks. You don't want to remove them from the sequence. You want them to continue to get appointment confirmation reminders. So I always make sure the stop on response is turned off. I also like to turn on auto mark as read conversation management so that the messages that go out from this appointment confirmation reminders don't show up as unread messages in your conversation history. It just gets it cluttered and you essentially sent it out. So why have it unread? That is it for the settings. Now let's go back and do a quick review of this whole appointment confirmation and reminder sequence. The trigger is anytime an appointment is booked on this calendar and it's confirmed. First thing we want to do is send the information back to Facebook so that we get that data into our Facebook account. We want to add the tag appointment booked. We want to update the opportunity so it's in the appropriate stage of the pipeline. Remove them from any nurture sequences that they could be in, so not getting double messaging. Send out a confirmation text, send them out an email confirmation. We can add in 2 days before, send them a reminder email. 24 hours before, this we're going to add in the 24-hour confirmation tag. And then we're going to ask them to confirm their appointment. Will you be there tomorrow, yes or no? Also, we're going to say if they don't reply back, we're going to cancel your appointment in the morning. Now, the next thing is we're going to send the morning of, so anybody that's going through this workflow that has an appointment that day will get an email at 7:30 that day reminding them of their appointment coming up. And then we're going to have to wait 30 minutes and we're going to check, did they confirm their appointment from yesterday or not? If they did, we're going to then wait 46 minutes before their appointment, send them out a message, just reminding them, hey, the appointment's coming up in 46 minutes. Then we're going to wait an hour after their appointment, send an email to your client, reminding them to update in HighLevel, add a task for them, and send out an email review to the prospect. If they didn't confirm their appointment, you can come down here and you can update their appointment to canceled, basically canceling their appointment, move the opportunity to canceled, email your client letting him know they never confirmed and they're getting canceled, and then email the prospect to let them know, hey, your appointment's been canceled, please book another time here. So that covers the appointment confirmation reminders email. You have the very basic, simple one in the beginning. You have a more elaborate one here at the end. Go ahead and use what you want. Make a combination of the two. Add some things, remove some things, give you other ideas. Maybe you'll come up with something even better. So if you do have other ideas, go ahead and put them in the comments. I love to see other ideas. It helps me come up with better videos to create for you guys as well. So that's it, and I will see you again on the next video.